The Eeveelutions, perhaps one of the most iconic Pokemon lines to ever exist in existence. The popularity of these Pokemon is an understatement in itself because I tell you, for years as a Pokemon fan, the first thing that people demand, request, want with each new introduction of a generation of Pokemon is a new evolution, at least one of them. Okay. I mean, there's an evolution for everyone. Okay. Whatever personality, whoever you feel you embody, there's an evolution for you. Okay. You're not alone. You're one of these evolutions. You might even be Eevee. Mind you, Eevee themselves is one of the most recognizable Pokemon in existence, especially having a total of 8 evolutions, the highest number of evolutions and split evolutions, so no one's doing it like Eevee. And truly, I feel like the Eeveelutions are so popular because they really embody that essence of family. They are the first family of Pokemon, truly, in my opinion. Not many lines feel like a family, unless you're Mousehold. But today, I pose this question to you Pokemon fans. Who is the most iconic evolution? Today, we're going to rank the evolutions according to who is the most iconic. But before we get to today's ranking, I want you to do me a solid by liking, commenting, and subscribing because when I tell you, making YouTube videos requires so much more effort and time than TikTok. It really mean a lot to me if you could do those three things. They're completely free and quick and easy to do to help me out and boost this video, and the algorithm will maybe like me for once. And if you disagree with me on this video, that is awesome. I want you to disagree. Comment why you disagree with me. I want to hear it. And if you agree with me, then I just automatically love you. But anyways, let's get to today's video of who's the most iconic evolution.
Yay, we're back with another ranking video. Thank you, and shout out to anyone who liked the last video I did. It was very experimental. I'm still figuring out editing and making long form content, but your support really means a lot to me. I'm a struggling small creator here, people. Emphasis on the struggling, but I really appreciate anyone who takes the time to interact with any of my content on any platform. We are here today to rank the evolutions, okay, by how iconic they are. And disclaimer, I just want everyone to know that there's no bad evolution. They are all valid and amazing. Don't take this video so personally. It would mean a lot to me if you disagreed and put a comment down on why you disagree with me on this list. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Did I get them all? Yes, let's do this. I think the way I'm going to do this is we're going to go from bottom to top. Okay, start from the bottom, go to the top. A wise drag artist once said, someone needs to go home first. Keep in mind, I always say if we all agreed about Pokemon and had shared the same opinions about Pokemon, it would be a really boring community. I'm not going to put anyone in F. I love how it's F if needed. I found this off of tiermaker.com. This is just already pre-made when I Googled it. Yeah, Eevee's even here. I thought about not putting Eevee in this ranking, but I'm just going to go ahead and put Eevee in for funsies and see where she would place because I feel like I know a good placement for Eevee. So who is going to be at the bottom of the totem pole? Look, someone needs to be at the bottom. Bottoms are important, let's be real. Shout out to the bottoms out there. Our first Pokemon evolution in last place, it's gonna be Leafeon, people. It's gonna be Leafeon. I just don't think Leafeon is iconic as the other evolutions, as her sisters. As a fan of Eevee, I in a crowd full of people, I don't suspect there being a lot of people saying Leafeon is their favorite evolution. And I don't see it. It is kind of an evolution to come later on. It's not the most recent evolution, obviously. Grass type already gets enough critiques, and I say that as a grass lover myself. Yeah, it's really hard for me to put Leafeon above any of these other evolutions. It's sad to say because I recently played Leafeon in Unite, and Leafeon's a lot of fun in that game. Am I being too harsh? Like, it pains me to put Leafeon so low too, because these stats are good. These stats are pretty cool. Like, the attack, the defense, the speed. But in this instance, I just don't think stats will save you here, okay? And I don't think the design is bad of Leafeon. I wish it was more green, though. I kind of wish Leafeon was more green, because as you can see, all the other evolutions are mostly the color of their typing. Whereas Leafeon, it has little green accents. I kind of wish Leafeon was straight up green, right? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? I wish she was more green design-wise. But you know what? If you love Leafeon, that's great. I would love it if you disagree with me and leave a comment on why you disagree with me and you think Leafeon should be an S tier. Okay, so we're moving on to C. Um, Are you still with me? Do you hate me? Do you hate me, people? I think it's pretty easy. Flareon. Flareon would be our first C. It's really sad because I think Flareon is so adorable. Obviously she's from, she's an OG, she's from Gen 1. I love how fluffy Flareon is. I definitely think Flareon has had it rough throughout the years with the fandom because obviously up until Gen 4, she was all about attack, right? She was an attacker straight up, and fire was special up until Gen 4. But up until Gen 4, when there was the physical special split, Flareon started to seem, started to get better. Though the speed, Flareon has never been as fast as some of her other sisters. It's definitely something that's held her back. But I think she's a little bit more iconic than Leafeon. Maybe she's definitely more memorable than Leafeon in my opinion because of all the criticism that Flareon's always gotten. And honestly, Flareon's special attack is pretty decent with the 95. I guess you can make a special Flareon. You could. Though that attack is just so amazing not to like take advantage of it. But yeah, I'm very confident and comfortable putting Flareon there. I've definitely gotten to like Flareon a lot more because she's just so fluffy. She really is fluffy. She's fluffy, and I love that about her. Also, with its guts ability, I think that could be a lot of fun. Toxic Orb anyone? Like, Flareon could be a beast, and just in like a trick room. Moving on, who am I gonna put above Flareon? I think I can easily put Glaceon above Flareon. I really think Glaceon and Leafeon kind of struggle a little bit. They came in the middle to an extent of all the generations. And when you come in the middle, it's like middle child syndrome. You're a little bit forgettable, We had the OG trio. We had Umbreon and Espeon, who are so iconic. And then you have the next duo, Glaceon and Leafeon. And then obviously the most recent is Sylveon. And I just feel like when you're more in the middle, you're hard to stand. It's hard for you to stand out. But I've always loved Ice type. I love a Glaceon's bang. Look at that bang. The hair? Oh, it's giving. I've always felt like she is giving us great volume. Just a statement with that hair. Obviously, Glaceon is kind of like opposite of her sister Leafeon, where she's much more of a special attacker. She's slower, but that special defense and her defense is really good. It's just that her HP, you know, it's not that great, but I think she's pretty well rounded despite, having low HP and speed. I also think what stands out more about Glaceon too is that she was owned by May. May's Eevee became a Glaceon, so she definitely had a role to play in the anime, and that's not often with the evolution. That might make her a little bit more memorable than some of the other evolutions, more iconic, as what this list is trying to prove. Okay, so we're moving on to B. Tier B, I think I can confidently put the next evolution. It's technically not an evolution. Eevee! Eevee, you're going in B. Eevee is one of the most recognizable Pokemon. What I love about Eevee is that Eevee's always been, at least what I imprint on Eevee, is that Eevee's always been able to allow players, Pokemon fans, to become whatever they want. You can become whatever you want. Whatever. Whatever! You put your mind, thought into it, some friendship, maybe an evolution stone, you can become whatever. Okay? And I just think that's been such a beautiful message to send to the Pokemon community. So I think Eevee it's fair to put Eevee there. Some people might think I should rank Eevee higher just because without her, she wouldn't have any of these evolutions, let's be real. I think Eevee should definitely fall in the middle. Yeah, there's really not much I want to say about Eevee. Eevee's a starter Pokemon in some games. She's great. She's iconic. But at the same time, you use Eevee to evolve Eevee. So I think that's why I would want to put more evolutions above her. The next evolution would be Jolteon. I've definitely slept on Jolteon growing up. I didn't realize how amazing Jolteon is. That speed, okay? And I think electric type is just a type that I tend to sleep on just in general. It's so sad. Always loved Jolteon's design though. I just never really utilized it until like adulthood. I'm like, oh my god, Jolteon's amazing. Kind of reminiscent of Glaceon. But but I think Jolteon really does slay. She can really do some damage, get in there. I mean, let's be real. Any Pokemon just with access to Thunder Wave is just automatically an amazing Pokemon in my book. Moving on, who's the next one to go into B? This is one of my personal favorite evolutions, and that's Espeon. That is Espeon. Espeon, you're gonna go. Wait, that's weird. Okay, that was weird. There's something about the Gen 2 Eeveelutions, Espeon and Umbreon, that are just they are top tier for sure. They're top tier, like, with the fans. And me being a Psychic type lover and just lover of Espeon in general, like, I just think she just is a star. She's a star. Look at her. I love how she's just more cat-like. Her and Umbreon are kind of more cat-like, as opposed to like maybe a more fox type inspiration that you see in some of the other evolutions. She is a girl of knowledge, and I really appreciate that about Espeon. She is obviously a special attacker, but she has great speed. I love her abilities of Synchronize, which I think Synchronize is such an underrated ability. And Magic Bounce as her hidden ability, though. Who's doing it like Espeon? Whenever I have like an Eevee with a hidden ability, oh, you best believe I'm trying to get Espeon. I would rank her higher, but I don't think she is like as iconic as her sister Umbreon, which brings us to the A tier, and that's Umbreon. That's Umbreon. You think people like Espeon? Umbreon fans don't mess around. People will cut you if you say something negative about Umbreon, okay? Can I say that on YouTube? Cut you? People will use the HM cut on you if you say something negative about Umbreon. And again, I like Espeon more than Umbreon, but I just think Umbreon, the fandom with she's not even a cult following. Umbreon is just so popular with the fans, and I get it, like, the design. She's also very cat-like. She's one of the first dark types introduced. Girl, what I love and appreciate about Umbreon too is that she is rather slow. However, the defenses, she's giving tank. She is she could be a wall. She has the defenses and the HP to back it up. Like there's nothing that scared me more in Gen 2 than a toxic Umbreon. And maybe I should rank her higher, but I think the last two evolutions have something to say. Who is going to be our final A and who is going to be S? Marking her to be the most iconic evolution. The runner-up is Sylveon. Sylveon is an A. Get her over there. Listen, the amount of coverage and representation that Sylveon has gotten throughout the years, after being introduced in Gen 6, one of the first fairy type. Was she the first fairy type Pokemon introduced? I mean, obviously, there's Gen 1 Pokemon that were changed to fairy type, but anyways, she has definitely become more iconic than her other sisters, let's be real. But I also think Sylveon might be a Pokemon that you love or hate in the fandom. Like, I definitely seen some hate for this Pokemon for sure. Maybe it's just like she's a lot more, uh, her design is a lot more complicated, but also I think designs in Pokemon, more recent generations, have been a lot more in more detail into them, which some people love, some people hate. Cute charm, but the pixelate hidden ability is where it's at. And the stats! You know, obviously not an attacker. She doesn't have the defense. She does not have the speed, okay? But the special attack, the special defense. I also feel like she is one that has really been being seen in VGC. So that in itself is just showing like how iconic she is, the representation, the merchandise. She's getting more rep than her other sisters for sure, and she hasn't even been here that long. But honestly, if you were to ask who is the most iconic evolution, I would say it's Vaporeon. It is Vaporeon, an OG. I feel like it's just deserving that an OG would be at S tier, the most iconic evolution, Vaporeon. I mean, memes and jokes alone aside, they're still happening in 2024 despite them not even being funny. Vaporeon is a star, okay? Vaporeon is a star. She has always stood out against her sisters, her fellow trio. There's something so special and timeless about Vaporeon and her design, first and foremost. I've always loved her stat distribution too. Like special defense, the special attack. The HP is wild, okay? The HP, Acid Armor Vaporeon back in the day was a nightmare in my opinion. Vaporeon was always that girl. Viability alone, though, like, she might not even be the most useful evolution, but just the fact that she's always on people's minds. She's always in the community's mouth, okay? They're always constantly talking about this queen. Who else is being talked about as much as her? Tell me. Tell me. You can say I'm biased as much as you want. especially since I have a plush of her, but you cannot sit there and tell me that she's not being talked about every single day and having discussions about her throughout all of the years that Pokemon has existed. It's her. It's always been here. Feel free to disagree with me. Your opinion is also valid, but I just think Vaporeon to me is the most iconic Eeveelution out of the Eeveelution family. She's the most well-rounded. She has great abilities, water absorb, hydration, her move pool, having access to water and ice. Whether it's good press or bad press, I just feel like Vaporeon has been holding it down and really carrying the Eeveelutions on her back. Not a whole lot of weaknesses. Merchandise. She's just been there for so many years. She stands out. But this is my final ranking of the Eeveelution family in terms of how iconic they are. Friends and family, let me know your opinions, your thoughts, your agreements, your disagreements. Who is the most iconic evolution to you?
Thank you so much for watching today's video of who's the most iconic evolution. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment what you thought about this. What you thought about this video? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Really mean a lot to me. And thank you so much for being you. Take care. Stay safe out there. Protect yourself mentally, physically, and remember, I love you. Bye, guys.